Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing the glorious Model O. The Model O comes in 4 different options: glossy black and white and matte black and white. The matte versions weigh 67 grams and cost $50, and the glossy versions weigh 68 grams and cost $60. I got the matte white version and my scale shows 70 grams with some cable. If you're trying to decide between matte and glossy, my suggestion is if your hands sweat at all when playing, then get the matte, and if not, then go for glossy. If you want to be safe, I would go for the matte because you really can't go wrong with it and it's $10 cheaper. The shape is very similar to the FK1, which I don't have, but here it is next to the FK2 as well as some other mice. It's best for people with medium to large hands who claw or fingertip. It can be used for palm, but this kind of low profile design isn't really meant for palm grip, but it's personal preference. The sensor is a 3360, which is one of the best sensors available, so no problems there. The left and right buttons are nice and tactile, not too light and not too stiff. Pretty much perfect for FPS. The bottom side button feels nice and clicky, but the top one has some pre-travel. The scrolling is quiet with fairly defined steps and isn't too hard to click in. Overall, the buttons are very good. Here's a sound test. There is optional software where you can change DPI from 400 to 12,000 in steps of 100. You can also change the lighting, change the liftoff distance from 2 to 3 millimeters, change the polling rate up to 1000 Hz, and change the debounce time, which changes the click latency. The lower you go, the higher the chance of double clicking, so I would just leave this at the default 10 milliseconds. The mouse has onboard memory, so you don't need to have the software open or even downloaded. One thing to note about the lighting is when you set them to certain single colors like white, some other colors light up as well, which makes it look weird. The cable is the best cable you can get on a mouse out of the box. It's not as good as a paracord because legally they have to put shielding in the cable, which this doesn't have, but it's still very good and I can barely notice it when playing. Here's a quick comparison to a paracord. As you can see, the paracord is more flexible because it doesn't have any shielding, and it almost feels weightless, whereas this one is the same material on the outside, but because of the shielding, it's stiffer and has more weight to it. Like I said, it's still very good and better than any cable out of the box. The mouse feet are pure PTFE with rounded edges, so they're similar to Hyperglides. They glide extremely well and they're the best feet that I've ever used. The holes on the mouse are small and close together, so it's barely noticeable when using it. So if you're worried about the holes feeling weird on your hand, I wouldn't worry about it. Even with the holes and the low weight, the build quality feels very good. I don't notice any flaws on my copy, and when shaking, there's no rattle whatsoever. My side button clicks when I press in really hard, but it doesn't happen during regular usage, and honestly, I wouldn't have noticed it if it wasn't pointed out to me. It feels like a very premium product. Even the packaging feels premium. Overall, Glorious did pretty much everything right with this mouse, and for $50 it's hard to complain. My only complaints are one of these side buttons has some pre-travel, and some of the single color lighting options look weird, but other than that I have no complaints. If you have medium to large hands and use a claw or fingertip grip, and especially if you know you like the FK1 shape, then I highly recommend it. It's easily one of the best mice on the market. I just hope they make a smaller version because it's a little too big for me. My hands are 18 by 9 centimeters and I use a claw grip. I still like using it, but I don't aim my best with it. So for people with smaller hands who play shooters, I suggest getting a smaller mouse, because if you want to aim your best, this is likely too big. So that's it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I'd appreciate if you left a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any questions or comments, leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.